Hi, thanks so much for watching. Today we are going to compare new launch versus a resale. Be it new launch or resale, there's no right, there's no wrong. It depends on your needs and the seasons of your life. So today we're just going to compare the pros and cons of either one. The good thing about new launches is it allows you to enter at a lower price than future buyers. When you want to sell in future, you will be able to give a more competitive pricing. Secondly, the upside of the capital gain is much higher than a resale because of the mechanisms in place that developers have to make the development profitable while attractive at the same time. So developers usually sell very early on, 4 to 5 years before TOP, and when they are selling at the very beginning, they will always set a very attractive price to attract buyers. After about 40 to 50% sold, developers are more confident that since I have already buyers, they will start to stage up the price because they also want to profit. They also need to break even. Developers also may choose to release the blocks or units at various timings so that they can price it at a higher price subsequently. So if this block is sold out, then they will release the second block to be sold at a higher price. Okay, and so this will allow the prices to move up, giving the early buyers a lift and a boost in the value of their property. Okay, so now let's take a look at the charts to show how staged up has actually helped the early buyers. Now let's take a look at Park Place. Park Place in 2017, when it was launched, the average price was 1,007 PSF. Just 1 year after that, the developer staged up the price, and in 2018, the price grew to 2,000 PSF in average. So therefore, the stage up has actually helped the early buyers. So another example would be Atra. 2017, when it was launched, the average price was about 1,600 PSF. So 1 year later, the price actually increased by 400 PSF. This staging up gives a boost in the value of your property. So new launches also often comes with brand new appliances, fittings, and so actually not much renovation is needed. It is in a move-in condition. Okay, however, are there disadvantages to buying a new launch? Definitely. Number one is the waiting time. Usually it takes about 4 to 5 years before you can really move into the place. Number two, sometimes the space is smaller than what is on the agreement, but of course the developers will make good on that. If the excess is way beyond 3%, there could also be defects, okay, in the house, in the plumbing, etc. That is why there is a 1 year warranty where the developers will make right all the defects. Now let's take a look at resale. Now, are there advantages to buying resale properties? Definitely. Number one, you don't have to wait. You can move in immediately provided it is in a moving condition. You get what you see. There is no need to guess. It is a safe bet, unlike the new launches. You can do the checks, etc. One of the key disadvantages is the owners decide the price, and usually the owners will want to sell higher than what they have bought at the beginning. You could be buying into a higher price with limited upside. So the capital gain is definitely lower as compared to buying at the new launch. Okay, so you are actually buying at a high as compared to original owners in that same block. So when you want to sell, your price will not be as competitive as those who have bought it at a lower price, and so they could price it more attractively. So for resale, no such thing as staging up, and therefore the movement of the prices will not move as much as new launches. So the new launches will move up whenever the developers stage up. However, for resale, the prices usually tend to stagnate after a while. Now let's take a look at Queens. So in 2007, buyers who bought it at a very low attractive price, and because of developers staging up, you can see that the prices starts to increase. Okay, however, it will not increase forever due to supply and demand. So it will rise, reach this peak before it fell slightly, and then it started stagnating from 2014 onwards. When it starts to stagnate, that is when some issues may occur. Number one, buyers may not be willing to buy at 1,002 if they know that the original buyers bought it at 700 to 800 PSF. There is no reason for them to set aside such a huge profit for the original buyer. So by 2017, 2018, Queen's Peak and Commonwealth Towers were launched, and buyers can now choose to either buy a new launch, a newer apartment, or to buy a 10-year-old Queens. Therefore, the prices of the Queens started to stagnate as buyers now have more options. Which also brings us to another point. If you are able to sell the property before it stagnates, then the upside is higher for you. So in conclusion, you can see the pros and cons of buying a resale versus a new launch. So I hope you found the tip useful, and I'll see you in the next tip.